The deeper you get into the Texas high school baseball playoffs, the harder it becomes to survive. The crowd gets louder, the pressure gets heavier, the mistakes become magnified. And the teams still standing this late in May usually have one thing in common. They know how to respond when the moment gets this big. That's exactly where we find ourselves this afternoon in Abilene. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into NTX Varsity Sports Pregame Show, presented by the Worldwide Ranch, 92.1 Hank FM, and Highly Mazda of Fort Worth. We're here today in Abilene Christian University, where today the Aledo Bearcats have an opportunity to punch their ticket into the regional final round with a win over the Amarillo Sandies here in Game 2 of this best-of-3 regional semifinal series. I'm Parker Burrows, and after a tense, scoreless start through the first 3 innings last night, the Bearcats looked every bit like defending state champions once the offense came alive. 3 runs in the 4th inning, 2 more in the 5th, and 3 more in the 6th, when suddenly what felt like a tight postseason chess match turned into an 8-1 statement victory for Aledo in Game 1. The Bearcats now enter this afternoon 37-4 overall, ranked number 5 in the state of Texas and undefeated district champions, sitting just 1 win away from another regional final appearance as they continue the journey to defend last year's 5A Division I state championship. But if there's one thing playoff baseball teaches you, it's this. Elimination creates desperation, and that makes today dangerous. Amarillo enters this afternoon with their season on the line. 32 wins this year, one of the best programs in West Texas all season long. Ranked number 18 in the state and now facing a win-or-go-home situation with the possibility of a Game 3 looming immediately after this afternoon's matchup. So while Aledo carries the momentum, the Sandies carry urgency. And in playoff baseball, both can be incredibly powerful. Joining me on the broadcast this afternoon is Brody Gates, who will be leading coverage during the 2 o'clock hour here on NTX Varsity Sports as we continue to bring you full live coverage from Abilene. Brody, last night really felt like one of those games where Aledo started and stayed patient early and then eventually overwhelmed Amarillo once they found the momentum offensively and made the changes they needed to.
Yeah, Parker, honestly, that's what stood out to me the most about last night's game. That was never really a sense of panic from Aledo, even when the game was scoreless early. We've seen this come from them multiple times. They trusted their approach, trusted their lineup, and once they broke through that in the 4th inning, it completely changed everything in the energy of the game. Landon Barnes had a huge night offensively. The dugout came alive, and you could really feel the confidence of a team that's been here before, like I was just saying, and understands what it takes to win deep in the playoffs.
Absolutely, Brody. We're here in Abilene Christian University where the Friendship and Dallas Jesuit match lasted a little bit longer than it was scheduled to, so we are looking at about a 1:15 start here in Abilene. And now the question becomes whether Aledo can finish the job this afternoon for the 1 o'clock game, or whether Amarillo can force a decisive Game 3 with their season hanging in the balance. The first pitch is coming up. We anticipate it for 1:15 here live at Abilene Christian University. You're listening to NTX Varsity Sports, a Worldwide Ranch production, and this is Texas Playoff Baseball.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Highly Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Highly Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Welcome back to the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table, where today Amarillo High School takes the field as the visiting team. Aledo High School, after playing visitor last night, will be the home team, getting the second half of batting order in the inning lineup. So we're going to give you, speaking of lineups, we're going to give you the starting lineups. For Amarillo High School, leading off is going to be number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher. Batting second today, number 23, Xander Plowman, the designated hitter. Batting third today, number 2, Austin Sluter, the center fielder. Batting fourth today, number 26, Jaden Cedillo, and he's going to be the pitcher starting out. Number 26, Jaden Cedillo, will be on the mound. Batting fifth today will be Golden Howell, the first baseman. We saw Golden Howell make a late game appearance last night as he was a substitute batter late in that game 1. Batting sixth will be number 5, Tate Blackwell, the second baseman. Batting seventh will be number 7, Talon Jones, the shortstop. And batting eighth will be number 1, Dylan Greider, the right fielder. Batting ninth will be number 11, Oliver Parsons, the left fielder. At second base today, we'll have number 8, Ian Herrick. Herrick will be a substitute batter if needed. Now, for the Aledo Bearcats, leading off will be number 10, Wilson Sinham, the center fielder. The left fielder. Batting second, number 21, will be Luke Gladchuck, the center fielder. Batting third, number 8, Landon Barnes, the second baseman. Batting fifth, number 61, Lucas Naraki, and he will be the designated hitter here tonight after pitching a standout game against Amarillo last night. Batting fifth will be number 4, Dylan Duran, the second baseman, the third baseman. Batting sixth will be number 4, Kyle Poindexter, the right fielder. Batting seventh will be Will Casey, the shortstop. Batting eighth will be Jackson Lowe's, the first baseman. And batting ninth, number 4, Connor Whitmire, the catcher. And that leaves the pitcher tonight being number 44, Luke Sandifer, as we expect him to take the mound here to start off this Game 2 against Amarillo High. It's 1:13 in Abilene. Aledo's on the field warming up right now. And we expect a tough matchup. Amarillo at that right field foul pole, doing their team prayer that they do before every match. Amarillo Sandies finishing up on-field warm-ups now. Their infield staff getting in some last grounding practice, all this their outfield staff gathers together to have their final meeting, and they're about to go through opening lineups as well. I mentioned, and so did Brody in that pregame introduction, Landon Barnes' night last night. Landon Barnes had a standout night. He got a hit off the first pitch of his second at-bat there in the top of the 4th inning. That hit is what sparked the fire that then led for a 3-2-3 inning progression over the next 3 innings. Landon Barnes coming in and scoring the next 2 at-bats. He scored his second and his third and was integral at his 4th at-bat. Landon Barnes, my standout, the media MVP of the night last night. We look to see him batting again today, 3rd in the lineup. We'll look to see him at second base. As the staffs of both teams have a meeting before they go through these pregame introductions, Aledo taking the field first. We'll see Luke Sandifer on the mound here shortly. Taking on Luke Sandifer first, leading off for Amarillo High School is going to be that number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher for Amarillo. We've traveled here till Abilene again today, another 2.5-hour drive from Fort Worth, all thanks to our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, allowing us to travel with the teams. Not only is NTX here in Abilene today, we're also en route to Graham right now for that 4 o'clock regional final game in a 1-game winner-take-all style matchup where Aledo Bearcats softball will be taking on the Abilene Lady Eagles. That game, first pitch scheduled for 4 o'clock. Leading that one will be Kevin Longquist, voice of the Aledo Bearcats, as he's excited for a great matchup in a 1-game winner-take-all style round at 4 p.m. on NTX Varsity Sports. If there is a Game 3, there will be a shorter post-game show than normal here on NTX Varsity Sports as we wrap this one up, and then we'll have our next post and broadcast link available very quickly after Game 2 concludes so that you can listen to Game 3. That is only if a Game 3 is needed. If there is no Game 3, we'll keep you here for a little bit with Brody Gates, have a quick post-game chat, and then we'll wrap it up and head back to Fort Worth and direct you over to that Aledo softball link. But that's not for a couple hours. The average baseball game in UIL takes 2.5 hours. It's 1:16, and we're about to get through the starting lineup. It looks like we might have a 121st pitch here, which would put Game 2 ending, if it takes the average, at 3:50. That would mean if there is a Game 3, be prepared for that at 4:30. Now, if there's not a Game 3, this means that if the game takes the exact average amount of time, you can support both the baseball team and the softball team today by listening to this game in full, and then immediately upon completion around that 3:50 mark, just hopping over and switching streams and going and listen to the softball game. Pregame show starting for that at 3:45, and the first pitch, like I said, scheduled at 4. We're getting ready to go through starting lineups on the field. We've already gone through them with you. So we'll be right back after we tell you a little bit about our broadcast table partner, and then we'll give you a quick message from the UIL, and we'll bring it back for the national anthem. Parker Burrows for NTX Varsity Sports, joined today by Brody Gates. Back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the NTX Varsity Sports Aledo Bearcats baseball postseason broadcast. We are here in Abilene today at the Abilene Christian University, where the Aledo Bearcats are taking on the Amarillo Sandies in their Game 2 best-of-3 series. Welcome back, everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. Why don't you go ahead, everyone, put in the chat where you're listening from, whether you're in the great state of Texas, if you're listening from Abilene, Aledo, Amarillo, back home in our home base, Fort Worth, Indiana. We saw someone from Indiana was tuning in last night. So wherever you're tuning in from, go ahead, put it in the chat here today, guys.
Brody, I think she's already back right now. We see her in the chat. She says she wants a Game 3 for Amarillo. She says she wants Game 3, let's go Sandies, coming from Indiana with M. Critter 42.
Yep. Very, very vocal in the chat last night. We had a very live chat last night. People were reacting live to what we were saying, what you were saying in the game last night. Like, it was kind of interesting. It's very like Aledo, like you were saying, they don't crumble under the pressure. They were going on 3 straight innings, no hits, no runs. Well, no, they had a couple of hits in there, but they weren't getting very far with it. But it's kind of comparable to the game last week against the Pascal Panthers. Pascal, they got 2 runs in the first inning, and they were leading Aledo. They were being very good defensively. I think, if I remember correctly, it wasn't until the bottom of the third or the top of the fourth last week where Aledo really popped off. And if we see that same thing here again today, I would say that Aledo's more of a second half of the game team. They're not crumbling under the pressure. They stay cool. Chad Berry, he knows what he's saying down there to the team whenever he calls his little infield meetings. So he knows what he's doing. The Bearcats know what they're doing. Maybe that's all part of their game plan. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
You know, I think that a big team storyline here for Aledo is the fact that they are the defending champions playing like defending champions. In the pregame interview last night with Chad Berry, he talked about how Amarillo has had this matchup circled on their calendars for quite some time and how they need to anticipate a battle between Amarillo and Aledo here in Abilene, really with Tegan Tate on the mound last night. bringing that fight to Aledo early. It's now been 45 minutes since the conclusion of that Friendship Dallas Jesuit game that Dallas Jesuit won. Friendship scoring some runs there late in the 7th. Did not really make that much of a difference, though. I think Dallas Jesuit ended up winning that game 10-3. But it did go a little bit longer, I think, than the Abilene Christian staff was anticipating. The originally scheduled 1 o'clock game is getting ready to kick off now. The coaches just finishing their meeting with the umpires. There's 4 umpires tonight on the staff. We get more umpires the further we advance through playoffs. But anyway, back to what Brody's point was. The storylines. Aledo, undefeated in district play, 10-0, and now 5-0 in the playoffs. Last night was, though, the most pressure we've seen Aledo face. It took until the top of the 3rd to see an Aledo runner advance to third base, and that being in the form of Jackson Lowe's in the top of the 3rd, advancing to third base, being the first runner to reach third base in the entire game thus far is something that we don't really see from this Aledo Bearcat team.
I think that might just be something that we overall see in postseason coverage. I mean, a lot of our big teams that we keep track of, Aledo, a couple of times we've seen them, they've knocked it out of the park. They were 20-0 in normal district season. Then as we advance, we got bigger teams, better teams that are coming in with huge scores. They're starting to slow down. We're starting to see less and less getting into the single digits, sometimes only 1-2. It could be a 2.5-hour game. We're seeing final score was 1-0. So I think that's an annual thing, a usual thing to see here, but I wasn't expecting it to hit the fan so fast, immediately going from such high-scoring games to immediately down to just a couple of single digits, and really it comes down to the last of probably the 7th inning.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about Aledo. I mean, this is the Aledo broadcast here. I am happy to invite all the Amarillo Sandies fans that are tuning in as we're providing coverage for both teams. And to that point, we do need to talk about how this is a dangerous Amarillo team. Even after the 8-1 loss last night, the game didn't look that way. And Amarillo statistically remains one of the best offenses Aledo has faced all season. So the Sandies hitting a .375 combined batting average as a team with over 319 runs scored this season. The lineup doesn't really have many easy outs for this Aledo offense, and something we're noticing now as the teams start to take the field in these starting lineups is how strong the wind is here in Abilene. We know we talked about that a little bit last night. It's 90 degrees here in Abilene today, but the wind sitting at 20 miles an hour, and that's not even the gust. The gusts that come through occasionally are sitting at 32 miles an hour. The flags whipping strongly over there in left field, the American and Texas flag standing proudly, whipping very strongly in the wind, heading towards that left field foul pole. I think that's going to be a storyline tonight. How do they straighten out? Do they have to swing a little bit earlier to compensate for the 20-mile-an-hour winds we're seeing here in Abilene Christian University with clouds on the horizon? Number 14, Tegan Tate, the ace last night, probably the biggest name entering today for Amarillo. We don't know if we'll see him again or not tonight. He might be a last-minute closer as he pitched 7 innings last night. Austin Sluter, one of the best hitters in the Amarillo lineup, a .472 batting average with 50 hits and 10 triples coming into this series. What changes today for Amarillo? We need to expect urgency immediately. Amarillo knows that this could be the final game if they do not force it into a Game 3. You have seniors on the Amarillo team that could be playing their last game of baseball with their teammates, so the Sandies likely much more aggressive offensively and early. We could see some short game in the bunts. We expect hits and runs, forcing action, maybe possibly more stealing happening. The key for Aledo would be to start fast. Last night they let Amarillo hang around early. If Aledo scores first today, pressure would skyrocket for that Amarillo team. We're going to take a quick break to listen in to the national anthem here live in Abilene. And with that, it's baseball time in Abilene. God bless the country and God bless these baseball players as they get ready. I hope we have a safe game tonight. No injuries on this field. I'm really hoping the best for both the Amarillo Sandies and the home team tonight, the Aledo Bearcats. Aledo pitching has been dominant. Brody, why don't you talk a little bit about the Aledo pitching staff?
So Aledo with their pitching, they're really standout. They have a team ERA of 1.5 with 330 strikeouts. Their opponents batting only .16, 1.17 against them.
166 batting average against them.
Yeah, and this is strength versus strength now. Amarillo, they can score in bunches, but Aledo's pitching staff rarely gives up. As we were seeing last night, if you all tuned in last night, these Bearcats, they don't give up. Playoff maturity. One thing that stood out last night was how Aledo, they stayed. That's usually the sign of a team that's been deep into May before. Like we were saying, this is strength versus strength now. Amarillo, they can score in bunches, but Aledo's pitching staff, they don't give up when in momentum innings.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ACU atmosphere, this feels bigger than a normal high school game. Many of the seniors here committed to similar programs like ACU, kind of getting a glimpse into their future. Lucas Naraki, the designated hitter for the Bearcats tonight, being an LSU commit and an all-star UIL player in the 2025 season. He needs to get used to environments like this. The Amarillo Sandies have to adjust to environments like this with the sunken dugouts, the college-level atmosphere, the deep center field. You can really feel the difference. We're here in a press box tonight. Usually we're sitting close to the dugout, and that alone changes kind of the atmosphere. Really high-quality seating. Abilene Christian University with a beautifully turf field. Really well done here. We're looking forward to being here at Crutcher's Scott Field for this game, too.
Going off of what you were saying about the turf fields, I don't know if this is just a Texas thing, but I feel like more high schools that we go to, we're seeing more and more of that. Less of the traditional dirt and grass field. We're seeing the artificial turf and where it can stay year-round, and they don't have to worry about landscaping or anything like that. I don't know about you, but I think the last 3 or 4 schools we've been to have all been turf fields.
Yeah, absolutely, and it makes it harder for teams with natural fields to adjust because the ball does bounce differently. Mm-hmm. With that, number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher, steps into the box to take his first pitch from Luke Sandifer. And there is going to be strike number 1, that time from Sandifer. And that's going to be the start of the game, the first pitch being at 1:29 today. And there's connection. Jimmy straight to the first baseman. Hits him in the chest. The first baseman getting hit in the chest with his glove off of the exit velocity of that bat. Straight to the first baseman who gets the tag in time. Luke Sandifer really quickly hustling over to that first base. This feels like a state tournament caliber matchup. This isn't just a regional semifinal team. This is Aledo, the number 5 team in the state, versus Amarillo, the number 18 in the state. As number 23, Xander Plowman, the designated hitter, gets ready and steps into the box. And a big swing there from Plowman. That's going to bring out strike number 1. No contact on that swing. The pitch. A bullet. Came in with a little too low of a drop there from Luke Sandifer. That's going to bring out ball number 1 to make it a 1-1 count. Xander Plowman now back in the box, getting encouragement from these Amarillo fans that have traveled to be here today. Big swing there from Plowman. No connection on that one either. That's going to bring out strike number 2. Luke Sandifer looking for his first strikeout of the game. The wind's picking up. We're seeing some of that gust now. Luke Sandifer handing his glove, winding up. The pitch is away. On the outside, that's going to bring out ball number 2 to make it a 2-2 count now. As Luke Sandifer takes a lap around the mound. Xander Plowman out of the box, getting ready to step back in. Goes through a little pre-bat warm-up, knowing he's got a 2-2 count. Now in the box composed. Luke Sandifer on the pitch, winding up, and it's away. A foul ball there, sends it down the third base line on the outside. That ball's out of the field of play, so it's going to be a foul. That keeps him alive at a 2-2 count. Xander Plowman now getting ready to step back into the box, waiting on Sandifer to return to the mound. Chalked his hands a little bit, now he does. Foot on the rubber, getting set, And Xander Plowman now back in the box. The pitch. On the inside, Xander Plowman swinging at it. It was a drop third strike there from Plowman. He had swung at it, bounced off the turf, and hit him. Some confusion, I think, between the Aledo and the Amarillo fans. The Amarillo fans, I think, initially thinking the ball hit Xander Plowman from the pitch, but it bounced first on the turf. He swung at it, and it was a drop third strike. He tried to make his way down to the first base. He was thrown out by Whitmire, the catcher. Now that puts Austin Sluter. Sluter with connection off the bat. He's at first. He's rounding. The ball's in right field. Austin Sluter makes his way back to first base. Caught in the middle there as the ball landed on the right field line, really close to the foul line, but was fair. Sluter thought about running his way to second, evaluated where the ball was, and stayed at first. That brings out number 26, Jaden Cedillo. Cedillo, the pitcher we expect to see on the mound tonight, now in the box to take on Luke Sandifer. The pitch. And a big swing there from Cedillo. That's going to bring out strike number 1. Amarillo with a runner on base early here in this ball game. Cedillo now back in the box. Sandifer evaluating. Sluter over there first. Sluter now stealing. A big swing there. Sluter sliding into second. He makes it. Austin Sluter now at second base. A big strike there from Jaden Cedillo still. That's going to bring out strike number 2, make it an 0-2 count. We have Jaden Cedillo now back in the box. Austin Sluter with a healthy lead off the second base. Sandifer focused, I think, only on that batter in the box. And there's an outside pitch, and that's going to bring out ball number 1. That one from Sandifer coming on the outside at 74 miles an hour. If you're just joining us, welcome into the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table with NTX Varsity Sports. We're at the top of the first, where the first pitch was thrown at 129. Cedillo now in the box, in a set. Sandifer's pitch away, and a big swing there. Big swing there from Cedillo, no contact, brings out strike number 3, and that puts the first inning away early here tonight. The bottom of the first inning last night, where we first saw the Sandies come out to bat, took quite a long time. It was about 30 minutes there in the bottom of the first last night. We've seen a tremendous swing and momentum coming into game 2 as the top of the first took 5 minutes to complete. The Sandies now sending their outfield and infield staff out. We have to see the pitcher warm up. We'll see number 26, Jaden Cedillo, on the mound. He's got to warm up his pitches to his catcher, Jimmy Escajeda, the leadoff batter that we just saw come up to bat. We saw the pitcher and the catcher bat that last time out for the Sandies. Coming up to bat first for Aledo is going to be number 10, Wilson Sinham, the left fielder. Sinham having a conversation with Chad Berry right now, adjusting his gloves, going through his warm-up swings, and we'll see him come out here shortly. We're live at the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table in Abilene. We're going to tell you a quick message about our broadcast table sponsor, and Brody's going to take over here at the bottom of the first on this 50-50 split with Brody Gates. Back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Highly Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Highly Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Welcome back to the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table here on NTX Varsity Sports. Right now we are in the bottom of the first, where the Aledo Bearcats are stepping up for their first at-bat of the night. We have number 10, Wilson Sinham, coming up to bat, and he is going to be getting pitched at from Amarillo Sandies. Number 26, Jaden Cedillo, Pitches away to Sinem, and it was a little low. It was a little low, almost hitting the ground there. So that is going to bring up ball number 1 for
a 1-0 count
for
now.
Sinem.
Connection there. That was a foul ball.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be in play there, but right there towards the first base, it just went out of play.
That first baseman having to step out of the foul line and step on that foul side of the foul line to get it. That's going to bring out strike number 1 for Sinem. A 1-1 count now.
Sinem stepping back in the box. Pitches away. And he made contact with it, but it seems like he grazed the tip of his bat, and that's going to go outside the field of play, going back towards
the left side.
Yeah, the left side. It seems like towards the main road a little bit. So that's going to bring Sinem to a 1-2 count.
Sinem now stepping back into the box. Cedillo on the mound, winding up. His pitch is away. On the inside, called ball number 2 to make it a 2-2 count. Sinem having to kind of spin out of that one, making sure he doesn't want to get hit early in this ball game.
Yeah, it seemed like it was pretty close to getting him on that one. Sinem again. Cedillo, the pitch is away. And contact.
Sends it to the second baseman. It gets past him.
So that's going to be first hit for the Bearcats of the night, and we have Sinem to first base. That's going to be a single for him. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is number 21, Luke Gladchuk. If I remember correctly, last night Luke Gladchuk had a pretty good game as well. I think he got a couple of the runs in there.
He was instrumental in advancing some of the runs. His short game kind of helped. Speaking of the short game, has a bunt there. Luke Gladchuk racing down first base off the bunt. First base is overthrown. Here comes Wilson Sinem. Wilson Sinem rounding first base, and he scores. Luke Gladchuk on a bunt gets a triple. Luke Gladchuk with that short game, forcing the catcher to throw to first. The pitcher, Jaden Cedillo, picking up the ball rather than the catcher throwing, overthrows the first base, allowing Wilson Sinem to get home. And Luke Gladchuk now on third. That's going to bring out number 8, Landon Barnes. We saw him have a standout night last night.
Little low and on the outside. That's going to bring up ball number 1. Yeah, we got Luke Gladchuk over there on third base. We saw last night that the Bearcats, when they get someone on third base, they're dangerous.
Yeah, and with that last pitch, that one was a little low on the outside. That's going to bring out ball number 2 to make it a 2-0 count now. Barnes.
Cedillo, the pitch is away to Barnes.
Connection there, sitting out of the field of play on the right side. That's going to bring out a foul. A late on the swing there from Barnes. A little behind it, 83 miles an hour coming from Cedillo. Winding up, the pitch is away. That one coming in to some disagreement from the Amarillo fans. It came in just a touch low of the strike zone. That's going to bring out ball number 3. And on the outside there, that brings out ball number 4, and it's the first walk of the game. Landon Barnes taking his first base bag. Cedillo now taking some instructions from his coach over there on the visitor dugout. That's going to bring out number 61, designated hitter, Lucas Naraki. Naraki, who had an out-of-the-park home run in the Pascal series for that area round. Naraki takes an outside pitch. Didn't swing at that one. We do see Landon Barnes steal second base. Naraki's in the box with a runner on second and third. Barnes already with a healthy lead off a second. A big contact there from Naraki. Sends it out of the field of play. Would have been a home run if he could straighten it out. It was about 15, 20 feet past on the left side of that left field foul pole. Naraki, if he could straighten it out, there's that win we were talking about. He just has to straighten it up at least 25 feet, and that one would have been out of the park.
Cedillo, the pitch is away.
Connection there. We saw that ball curve in the air. It hits the back wall. There's number 21, Luke Gladchuk, at home. Landon Barnes also at home. 2 RBIs and a double for Lucas Naraki. 2 RBIs and a double. Taking off his sliding pad, handing it to his coach. pointing at the scoreboard. 3 runs here at the bottom of the first. Lucas Naraki on second. We now have a meeting between the entire infield staff called by the Amarillo Sandies team. A quick infield staff meeting with Jaden Cedillo, the pitcher, his infield staff, his coach, and Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher.
Something that I'm noticing while I'm keeping track of the scoreboard over here, something that the Sandies, they were doing last night too. Cedillo, he seems to throw some heaters coming in 93, 95 miles an hour, and then immediately he follows it up. He slows it down. It comes up to about 70, 71 miles an hour. And I think it jottles the Aledo Bearcats just a little bit because he doesn't keep it in order. It's just kind of like he does it randomly, so they don't expect it.
That is something that the Sandies do really well, is have pitching that tempo control. They can speed it up, throw you a Lucas Naraki-style heater at 93 miles an hour, but then, like Brody said, slow it down to 78 and really have to make you focus on the ball. Now we have number 24, Dylan Duran, stepping into the box to take his first at-bat of tonight's game. Speaking of heaters, there's a ball coming in at 85 miles an hour just on the outside. That's going to bring out ball number 1, a 1-0 count now for Dylan Duran. The pitch. Connection there from Dylan Duran. Bounces past second base. Here comes Lucas Naraki rounding third, decides to stay at third. A single for Dylan Duran as he knocked it past second base into the outfield. That's going to bring out number 4, Kyle Poindexter, the right fielder, out to bat. Kyle Poindexter, number 4, getting ready to step into the box. Having to make Cedillo adjust again here. Poindexter now stepping into the box for this at-bat against the Amarillo Sandies here in the bottom of the first. And there's a pitch, low and on the outside from Cedillo. That's going to bring out ball number 1.
Yeah, Kyle Poindexter stepping back in the box. Cedillo, the pitch is away. Straight over home plate. It looked a little high, but umpire is going to say that it's a strike.
Well, Poindexter did swing at it. It was a big swing, and he missed it. So
no, I didn't see it from this angle.
Connection there from Poindexter up in the air, caught by the pitcher, thrown to first. And that's going to bring out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. That did advance Dylan Duran. Dylan Duran now sits on second base. Poindexter the first out here for the Bearcats. That's going to bring out number 1, Will Casey, the shortstop, as he's in the box taking a large stance. And a big swing there from Casey. That brings out strike number 1. Cedillo on the pitch. On the outside there, that's going to bring out ball number 1 to make it a 1-1 count. And a big swing there. No contact from Will Casey. That's going to bring out strike number 2. A 1-2 count now for Casey as he's back in the box. Cedillo on the mound, winding up, looking for his first strikeout of the game. Pitches away. Fouled off there from Casey. Late on the pitch, sends it behind him. 84 miles an hour coming from Cedillo. Having to go get that baseball as it was kind of stuck in the backstop area. Coming out nicely to help with that. And it's number 2, Jackson Lowe's. There's another foul ball. That one heading towards the visitor side. Hitting that net. That's going to keep Casey at a 1-2 count. The pitch from Cedillo, winding up and away here. Foul ball in the same spot. Heading towards that left field line on the foul side, though. Just a little behind the swing for Will Casey. Had to adjust. There's that pitch tempo speed that Brody was talking about. 71 miles an hour on that pitch. The pitch from Cedillo's away. Low. It was in over the middle of the plate. It just came in too low, dropped too soon. That's going to make it a 2-2 count now for Casey as he's in the box. Cedillo winding up his pitch with a 2-2 count, trying to strike this batter out, and he does. Cedillo with his first strikeout of the game. That one coming in again, much slower than the Bearcats are used to seeing. 68 miles an hour over the plate. That dangerous tempo speed that we saw Tegan Tate perform so well last night is at the same. Coming in 87, 89, 90 miles an hour, and then dropping it down to a 71 mile an hour pitch. That brings in number 2, Jackson Lowe's. Jackson Lowe's with strike number 1. That one in dead center of the strike zone, coming in at 68 miles an hour.
That one again to Cedillo. That one again to Jackson Lowe's. It was straight dead center. That's going to make it it's going to make it a 1-2 count. No, an 0-2 count.
Scoreboard here in Abilene's wrong. It's 2 strikes. There's a pitch on the outside for the first ball to make it a 1-2 count. Yeah, no, that Lowe's did swing at that last strike. No contact, though, as it was slowed down. The ball's heating up now, back again from Cedillo. 85 miles an hour, heading towards that 90 mile an hour mark. Cedillo on the pitch. Throws low and on the outside. That's going to bring out ball number 2. Now we have a 2-2 count. Deuces. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here for Jackson Lowe's as he steps back into the box. Lowe's the 8th batter in this lineup. And he gets a tip off. The Bearcats still with a runner on 3rd and 2nd.
Jackson Lowe's taking a second, stepping outside the box, just preparing himself, stepping back in. The pitch away from Cedillo. It's going to be a little bit low. That's going to bring up ball number 3. That's going to be a full count, bring it to 3-2.
An inside pitch there from Cedillo. Lowe's taking a second to step back into the box. The pitch. Connection there. The third baseman trying to dive for it. Doesn't get to the ball in time. That sends number 61, Lucas Naraki, home. Now we have number 24, Dylan Duran, on 3rd base. And Jackson Lowe's sits at first. A single plus an RBI for Jackson Lowe's. That's going to bring out the 9th batter in the lineup. A full rotation here in the bottom of the 1st inning. Number 4, Connor Whitmire, the catcher, is going to step into the box to take on Cedillo for the first time today. And there's strike 1. That one of the faster pitches we've seen from Cedillo. 83 miles an hour in the middle on the outside. Grazed that middle part of the line on the outside of the strike zone box. Cedillo on the pitch. That one just a little bit further outside. Didn't graze the strike zone like the previous one. That's going to bring out ball 1. A 1-1 count now for Whitmire. Connection from Whitmire. A little early on the swing, sends it behind him on down the right field side, and that's going to bring out strike number 2 on a foul. That's going to make it a 1-2 count now. Whitmire now in the box with a 1-2 count. Gets connection there, sends it high, height coming from that ball off the bat. It's pop up in the air and pulled down by the left fielder, Oliver Parsons. Oliver Parsons pulling that one out of the sky. We saw him take a couple catches last night as well in about the same spot. The wind had some curve on that ball, but ultimately resulted in a pop-up out. There at the bottom of the 1st, Aledo left 2 runners on base, had 6 hits and 4 runs. No errors there for Aledo. There was 1 error for the Amarillo Sandies. That's going to bring us to the top of the 2nd here live in Abilene, coming to you live from the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table, live on NTX Varsity Sports. We're going to tell you a quick 30-second timeout to tell you about our broadcast table partner, and we'll be right back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Welcome back to the NTX Varsity Sports Hiley Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table here live in Abilene Christian University tonight at the Krucher Scott Field in Abilene, where we have Amarillo Sandies coming out to bat for the second time tonight. We will see Golden Howell, number 4, come out to bat first for the Sandies. Golden Howell getting some batting in late in last night's game as he was a substitute batter coming in to start out tonight's game. He's the 5th batter in this Sandies lineup. Sandifer warming up, having a quick little last infield staff meeting with his third baseman and first baseman. High fives all around for the Bearcats. The first baseman, Golden Howell, now stepping into the box as Sandifer's now set. The second inning underway here at 1:52 p.m. in Abilene. And there's a low pitch. Dropped too soon there from Sandifer. That's going to bring out ball number 1. Came over the plate, but it was too low, kind of in the turf before it crossed the plate. Sandifer on the pitch now. That one again, dropping just a little too soon. That's going to bring out ball number 2 to make it a 2-0 count. Howell in the box. There's strike 1 from Sandifer, coming in at 89 miles an hour on the inside side of the strike zone. Sandifer now back on the rubber, hand in his glove, winding up. Golden Howell in the box, the pitch is away. And a swing there from Howell on an outside pitch. It's going to bring out strike number 2 to make it a 2-2 count here in the top of the second. A late connection there by Golden Howell. It's going to be a foul ball. Sends it into the ground behind him on that late swing. Luke Sandifer taking a lesson, I think, out of the Sandies playbook, slowing that pitch down to 72 miles an hour. And a low pitch coming over the plate just a little bit lower than this umpire would have liked it. It's going to bring out ball number 3 to make it a full count.
3-2 count for Golden Howell. Connection really high up. Left field trying to get it, and it almost goes out of the park.
Aledo racing to get it. Aledo didn't quite get there in time. A double for Golden Howell late in the full count set. Sitting in between the gap between left and center field, bouncing behind the left fielder. Wasn't quite where he had placed it. I think the wind, like we said, those 30-mile-an-hour winds having something to do with it. The wind's so strong, the umpire's shirt, you can just see the ripples going down everybody's shirts, especially those bright blue shirts, as the wind has done nothing but pick up since the start of this ball game. The pitch there from Sandifer has a swing from number 5, Tate Blackwell. That's going to bring out the first strike for Blackwell. Sandifer knowing he's got a runner on second now after the second hit of the day from the Sandies. Luke Sandifer now on the pitch, winding up on the rubber, and the pitch is away. And a big swing there from Blackwell. It's going to bring out strike number 2. No outs here in the top of the second. Golden Howell with a healthy leadoff at second base as Sandifer lines up. And is set. And a big swing there for strike number 3 from Blackwell. That's going to bring out number 1 and another strikeout for Luke Sandifer here in this ball game.
Up next at bat, for the Sandies, we have number 7, Talon Jones, stepping into the box. He's doing his little pre-bat ritual. He's getting ready. The pitch from Aledo, number 44, Luke Sandifer, the pitcher. Oh, stepping down off the mound real quick. He's taking a quick little timeout, just getting his head back in the game. Stepping back on the rubber. Sandifer, the pitch is away. That's going to be straight down the middle for strike 1 for the Aledo Sandies, number 7, Talon Jones. You can just hear in our crowd mic how much that the wind is starting to pick up here. We'll see how much that affects the ball game as we progress. Pitch is away. That's going to be pretty high from Sandifer, so that's going to bring up ball number 1, bringing it to a 1-1 count.
An inside pitch there from Sandifer for that ball number 1. Inside pitch there again. A left-handed batter in the left batter's box, so now we have, I think, the wind playing a little bit into the pitches here from Sandifer. You can see the tops of the trees in the background moving violently too. Very windy ball game today. An inside pitch there for ball number 3 to make it a 3-2 count. A full count now for Talon Jones as he gets set back in the box.
No, we have the umpire correcting it right now. The scoreboard wasn't right. It is a 3-1 count. Sandifer winding up on the mound, getting ready. He's looking back. He has a Amarillo Sandy on number 2. There's a connection from Sandy's number 7, Talon Jones, and it goes straight to the right field, and he is out. That's going to bring up the second out for the Sandies here in the top of the second. Aledo right field tries to throw it to shortstop to get out the Amarillo Sandy that was already on second base, but he remains safe. So that's going to bring up number 1 for the Sandies, Dylan Greider.
Luke Sandifer calling a quick timeout, changing out baseballs. Didn't like the one he had.
Sandifer stepping back on the rubber, getting ready. Number 1 for the Sandies, Dylan Greider, getting ready. The windup. Sandifer pitches away, and that's going to be straight down the middle, and that's going to bring up strike number 1 for Greider. Greider stepping back into the box. Sandifer winding up, getting ready, looking back at second base. Pitches away, and that's going to be an inside pitch. That's going to bring up ball number 1, bringing it to a 1-1 count for Greider. You see Sandifer here. He keeps looking back towards second base. He knows that he has a Sandy out there, and that is Tate Blackwell or Talon Jones. I can't exactly see which one of them it is, but Sandifer, he keeps looking back. He knows that he has someone back there, so he's trying to make a play right now. He's trying to see what he's going to do. If he's either going to throw back to second because the Amarillo Sandy has a very heavy leadoff.
The pitch from Sandifer away. There's strike number 2. The pitch from Sandifer again. Low and on the outside there for ball number 3. We have a full count now. As Luke Sandifer is adjusting. nodding at a call from Whitmire. Luke Sandifer's pitch in his glove. And away. Connection there, sends it out of the field of play over the backstop net. And that's going to keep us at a full count here for Dylan Greider.
Sandifer adjusting, getting ready. The runner on second base, he's got a pretty healthy leadoff. Sandifer keeps looking back. Sandifer pitches away, and that's going to be a bit of an inside pitch, and that's going to bring a ball number 4 and give the Sandies a runner. It's going to get Dylan Greider on first base. So we now have a runner on first and second here in the top of the second with 2 outs on the board. Up next to bat is number 11, Oliver Parsons. As you can hear there, the wind is really starting to pick up now. Parsons up to bat, stepping into the box. Sandifer still looking back at second base. Sandifer pitches away. And it hits Oliver Parsons. And the ball rolls into the back.
Is overthrown and hit the backstop wall. Whitmire not being able to reach it in time, sending the runner to third and second, allowing kind of a free base steal there as Whitmire had to turn around behind him and get the ball. Oliver Parsons still in the box. Looking to take this pitch from Sandifer. Connections there from Parsons. Throwing to first base to get the forced third, and he does. The third and final out there of the top of the second to send us to the bottom of the second, where we'll see Aledo come out to bat. After a 4-run bottom of the first, Aledo showing out that they're on a mission here today. They want to taste the feel of the regional final series again, and they put that on display in the bottom of the first, and we'll see how they react to holding Amarillo to another scoreless inning, 2 in a row. The ball game could change at any moment, though, just like we saw from Aledo last night. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. We'll be right back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back live to the Hiley Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table, where number 10, Wilson Sinham, the top of the Bearcats lineup, is coming up to bat for his second time tonight. We're here, like I said, at the Hiley Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table, here in the 2 o'clock hour, where Brody Gates will be taking over for the remainder of game number 2.
Yes, thank you so much, Parker, for being here. Know you have to leave, but let you know, I got it from here. And Aledo, let's hope that they take the win today, and we can send it home, and we can see them progress to next week. All right, we shall see you next time. All right, Up to bat for Aledo is number 21, Luke Gladchuk. He is at a 1-0 count right now. The pitcher for the Amarillo Sandies, number 5, Tate Blackwell. The pitch is winding up, and it's gonna. No, that was a second ball. Sorry, couldn't exactly see what happened there. All right, Tate Blackwell winding up, and that's going to be. Seemed like it was a low inside pitch there to bring up ball number 1. Bring up ball number 3. Blackwell, it is away. And it hits Aledo number 21 to Luke Gladchuk in the back, and that's going to be a walk for him. It's going to send Gladchuk to first base. The umpire giving Blackwell a new baseball. Up next to bat for the Aledo Bearcats is number 8, Landon Barnes, his second at-bat of the night. Seem to be taking a quick time out.
Now batting for the Bearcats, number 8,
And for the Amarillo Sandies, the catcher, Austin Sluter, Jimmy Escajeda, he was taking a quick little break, and now he is back. Up to bat, Aledo, Landon Barnes. And that was a high inside pitch from Blackwell. That's going to bring up ball number 1. And there's connection from Landon Barnes. And that is going to be a double for him. And Landon Barnes, he sends Luke Gladchuk to third, and he gets a double and gets himself to second. So Aledo here at the beginning of the bottom of the second already has Landon Barnes on second and Luke Gladchuk on third. Up next to bat is number 61, the Aledo LSU commit, Lucas Naraki. Naraki stepping into the box, getting ready. Blackwell pitches away. There's connection there, but it's going to go into the backstop. That is going to bring up strike number 1 for Naraki. Naraki stepping back in, getting ready. Blackwell adjusting, knowing that he has 2 Bearcats on second and third. Pitches away. That's going to be straight down the middle, and that's going to bring strike number 2 for Naraki, bringing it to an 0-2 count. Pitches away. Naraki making contact straight past second base and going out to the right field. Naraki running, and he's sliding into second. That's going to be a double for him, but that's going to send Luke Gladchuk and Landon Barnes home for an extra 2 runs for the Bearcats, bringing the score to 6-0 here in the bottom of the second. A double for Lucas Naraki. As we were seeing, he got last week. Naraki is great at the bat. He got an out-of-the-park home run against Pascal. Last night, he almost did the same thing here. He gets doubles, he gets triples. He knows exactly where he wants it. If he sees that the wind is taking him and getting some fouls, he readjusts immediately and knows exactly where to put it. Up next to bat for the Bearcats, Dylan Duran pitches away from Blackwell. And that's going, it seemed to be a little bit on the outside, but the umpire is going to call it a strike. That's going to bring up strike 1 for Dylan Duran. Blackwell, it pitches away. In contact from Duran, but that's going to go outside the field on the outside of the right foul line. It's going to bring up strike number 2 for him. O2 count for Duran. Blackwell on the rubber, looking behind him. He knows that he has Lucas Naraki on second behind him. Pitches away, and that's going to be an outside pitch, and that's going to bring up ball number 1, bringing it to a 1-2 count for Duran. Duran stepping back into the box. Blackwell on the mound. Wind up, pitches away. And connection from Duran. It seemed like it was going to be on the inside, but just at the last second, it went on. It was a foul outside of the right foul line, so that's going to keep him at his current 1-2 count. Duran going back to home plate. He's going to step outside, just reconnect himself a little bit. Duran stepping back into the box. One-two count. One Aledo Bearcat on second. Actually, Jimmy Escajeda is actually going to have a quick little meeting with Blackwell on the mound. Duran's going to step outside the box. Again, we have Duran up to bat for the Bearcats. Lucas Naraki, he's still on second base. It seemed like, yeah, Jimmy Escajeda and Tate Blackwell here having a quick little infield meeting, trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. Seeing a big switch in momentum here compared to last night. Aledo really taking an early lead here. Here we go. That infield meeting seems to be done. Dylan Duran up to bat, stepping into the box. 1-2 count for him. Blackwell, the pitch is away. Connection from Duran heading out towards left field, and that is caught. That's going to bring out the first out for Aledo here in the it's going to bring their second out here in the bottom of the second. We still have Lucas Naraki out on second base. Up to bat next for the Bearcats is number 4, Kyle Poindexter. You can see Blackwell there on the mound. He keeps looking back. He knows that Naraki's out there. He knows that he'll try and steal. Poindexter doing his quick pre-bat ritual. He's ready. Blackwell pitches away, and connection from Poindexter straight down. It goes to the shortstop, and the shortstop catches it, but it falls out of his glove, letting Lucas Naraki run right on by him and get to third. So that's going to put Kyle Poindexter on first and Lucas Naraki on third. We're seeing the same thing that we did last night. Aledo, when they're able to get someone on third base, that's when they become dangerous. They know how to play this. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is number 1, Will Casey. Blackwell, the pitch is away. That's going to be straight down the middle. That's going to bring up strike 1 for him, bringing it to an 0-1 count. Blackwell looking towards first base, knows he has a Bearcat out there. Will Casey, connection for him, and that's going to go straight out to the left field, and that's going to allow Lucas Naraki to run home, giving the Bearcats another run, bringing the score to 7-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. So now we have Will Casey at first, and we have Kyle Poindexter on second. Bearcats first and second base occupied. 2 outs. Up next to bat is number 2, Jackson Lewis. Lewis stepping into the box. Umpire calling a timeout right now. Lewis going to step out, just collect himself a little bit. Lewis stepping back into the box. You can see Kyle Poindexter there on second base having a healthy leadoff. Pitches away from Blackwell, and that's going to be straight down the middle. That's going to bring us to an 0-1 count for Lewis. Blackwell winding up, pitches away. That's going to be a little bit low and on the outside for ball 1. But then Jimmy Escajeda is going to throw it back to second base because he saw that Kyle Poindexter had a very healthy leadoff, was maybe trying to steal third, and he had to run back, but he is going to be safe. That's going to bring up a 1-1 count now for Jackson Lewis. Jackson Lewis stepping back into the box, getting ready. Blackwell, the pitch is away. Gonna be straight down the middle again. That's gonna bring up strike number 2 to make it a 1-2 count here. Jackson Lewis stepping out of the box, taking time to collect himself real quick. Blackwell seems to be eyeing first base a little bit. He sees that Will Casey has a very healthy leadoff. Blackwell pitches away to Lewis. And connection, it's going to hit, immediately go to the ground and hit, and it's going to pop up. Jackson Lewis, his connection goes towards the shortstop. Shortstop throws it to first, but Lewis makes it just in time to be safe on first base. Bearcats, bases loaded here in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, and up to bat next is number 4, Connor Whitmire.
Number 19, Connor Whitmire.
Whitmire stepping into the box. Blackwell taking a little bit of time. He sees that he's completely surrounded by the Bearcats. Pitches away. It's an outside pitch, a little bit high. That's going to bring ball number 1 for Whitmire, bringing it to a 1-0 count. Pitches away. Blackwell, connection from Whitmire. It goes towards the shortstop. And shortstop manages to get it to third base. And that's going to give us our 3rd out and send us into the top of the 3rd. But Aledo now, they are winning 7-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Like we were saying again, we're seeing a big shift from last night. Aledo, they didn't get any runs until the top of the 4th last night, but now they came out swinging tonight, and now they got 4 runs in the bottom of the 1st, and now they got 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd. We'll see what happens here. We got to keep an eye out. The Bearcats, they know what to do. Head coach Chad Berry probably talked to him last night saying, yes, we did good, we came back, but we need to look at this and we need to switch it around and we need to come out swinging and we need to get an advantage straight out the gate, and we can see them doing that right now. Hopefully they continue on with it. We'll see what happens. Taking a quick little timeout here while the Aledo defense goes into the outfield as they get ready. Right now, we're going to take a quick 60-second timeout to tell you a little bit about our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Thank you to them for sponsoring us and allowing us to be able to travel with our Aledo Bearcats. We're going to give you a quick little message from them and then a quick message from the UIL. Back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable. Peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the Hiley Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table, where NTX Varsity Sports is broadcasting the Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball coverage. We are here at Abilene Christian University today, where the Bearcats are facing up against the Amarillo Sandies. Right now, the Aledo Bearcats are leading 7-0, and we are here in the top of the 3rd, where the Sandies are up to bat. Pitcher for Aledo, Luke Sandifer. The pitch is away. And that's going to be straight down the middle, and that's going to bring up strike number 1 for Sandy at bat. Sandifer pitches away. Connection from Sandy number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher. And it's going to go straight towards center field, and that's going to be the first out for the Sandies here in the top of the 3rd.
Number 23, Xander.
Up next to bat for the Sandies, number 23, Xander Plowman, your designated hitter. Doing his little pre-bat ritual, he's stepping into the box. Sandifer winding up, the pitch is away. That's going to be a low inside pitch there, bringing up ball number 1 for Plowman. Bringing it to a 1-0 count. Sandifer pitches away. And that's going to be a low inside pitch, actually hitting the ground before it even goes over the plate. It's going to bring it to a 2-0 count here. Actually, no, the umpire is going to say that Xander Plowman actually did try and swing at it, so that's going to bring up a 1-1 count. Sandifer throwing a heater in 90 miles an hour, but it's going to be a little bit low and on the outside. And it's going to miss. It's going to miss the glove of Connor Whitmire. It's going to go into the backstop, bringing it to a 2-1 count. Sandifer pitches away. That's going to be straight down the middle, bringing up strike number 2. And it's going to be a 2-2 count for Xander Plowman of the Amarillo Sandies. Sandifer taking a quick little timeout, stepping off the rubber. Stepping back on. Sandifer, the pitch is away. Big swing there from Plowman. The scoreboard appears to have been wrong. It is now a 2-2 count. Before it was a 2-1. Sandifer. Pitch straight down the middle, and it was a pitch straight down the middle. But the umpire appeals to the third base umpire, and he said that that's going to be a ball, so that's going to bring it to the count to a 3-2. There was some disagreement from the Aledo fans in the crowd. The home plate umpire getting a meeting from Amarillo Sandies head coach. The umpire is now calling an entire staff meeting with all the base umpires right now. Again, yeah, from where I'm sitting, it looked like it was straight over home plate. It looked like it was gonna be Xander Plowman's third strike and get him out. But no, umpire called it a ball, but there was a lot of disagreement from the stands. Yeah, after his quick infield staff meeting with all the umpires, they're still going to call it a ball, so that's going to bring it. It's going to keep Xander Plowman at bat with a 3-2 count. One out here for the Sandies here in the top of the third. Sandifer winding up. Pitches away. It's going to be a high outside pitch. And that's going to bring the count to correction. Austin Sluter came up to bat. Wasn't able to see exactly when this happened, but Xander Plowman, it did end up becoming a fourth ball, so he is on first base. And Austin Sluter, he had one ball, and then he just got a connection, and it was caught by the right field. So that's going to bring the Sandies to their second out here in the top of the third. Up next to bat for them is Jaden Cedillo. Number 26. Cedillo sitting at an 0-1 count. Sandifer, the pitch was away. There was connection from Cedillo, but it went out of the field of play right over the back of him, and it actually landed on top of the press box. So that's going to bring Cedillo to an 0-2 count. Sandifer throws a ball, but Connor Whitmire, he throws it to first base because he saw that Austin Sluter had a heavy lead off, and he almost got him out, but it's going to have us at a 1-2 count here for Cedillo. Sandifer, the pitch is away, really high and on the inside. Cedillo actually kind of had to duck out of the way a little bit. That's going to bring us to a 2-2 count here. 2-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the third for the Amarillo Sandies. Sandifer on the pitch. Winding up, pitches away. And again, there was contact by Cedillo, but it's going to go out of the field of play. It's going to hit him and go right behind him. That's going to be a foul. Keep him at a 2-2 count. Again, it seemed like it was going to land on top of the press box. Sandifer adjusting a little bit. Sandifer, the pitch is away. Connection by Cedillo straight to the shortstop, who will go to second base, and will get Austin Sluter out. And that is going to bring us to the bottom of the third. There's 3 consecutive innings for the Sandies where they have had 0 runs. And I believe it was in the first inning where they did have a runner on third, but they managed to get that third out. While we wait to go into the bottom of the third and see Aledo up to bat again, we're going to tell you a little bit about our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring us and allowing us to travel with these Aledo Bearcats and bring you these NTX Varsity Sports broadcasts of postseason baseball. Speaking of baseball, if you love the Aledo Bearcats, the Amarillo Sandies, or whoever you like watching your baseball and you think that they're going to make it to the postseason, don't miss the final UIL state event of the year, the 2026 State Baseball Championships. They're taking place June 4th through June 6th at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock. For schedule, spectator, and ticket information, please visit uiltexas.org/baseball. Again, that's uiltexas.org/baseball.
For Amarillo High, number 15, Cooper Norsworthy.
Yeah, while we wait for the Aledo Bearcats to take up at bat, we're going to take you for a quick 30-second timeout and tell you a little bit about our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Be back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Welcome back to the Hiley Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table for the Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball coverage, where we are in Abilene, Texas today at the beautiful campus of Abilene Christian University, where the Aledo Bearcats are facing off against the Amarillo Sandies here in a best-of-3 series. This is Game 2. Right now we are in the bottom of the third, where the current score is Aledo 7 and Amarillo 0. Right now we are starting our third run of the lineup for the Aledo Bearcats. Up next to bat for Aledo Bearcats is number 10, Wilson Sinham, his third at bat of the night. Sinham stepping into the box. Pitch from Blackwell. That's going to be, it looked to be a little bit of an inside pitch there, but the umpire is going to call it a strike. That's going to bring up strike number 1 for Sinham. Blackwell, the pitch is away. It's going to be a bit high, inside high pitch there. It's going to bring up ball number 1. Blackwell, the strike. Blackwell, the pitch is away, excuse me. And Sinham makes contact. It goes towards first base, but it rolls past him. And Sinham is going to be safe there on first base. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is number 21, Luke Gladchuk. Blackwell looking over. He sees that Sinham's on first. Oh. Gladchuk got contact on his first swing, and it seemed like he was a little bit unsure. He stayed at home plate. It seemed like it was maybe going to be on the outside of the right foul line, but no, it was just right there on the inside, and a right fielder got it. So that is going to give Aledo their first out here in the bottom of the third. Up next to bat is our media MVP from last night's game, Landon Barnes. Barnes stepping into the box. Blackwell still looking. He sees that he has Sinham at first base. Blackwell the pitch to Barnes is going to be a bit on the outside. That's going to bring up first ball. Is going to bring us to a 1-0 count. Pitches away. And Barnes makes contact, goes out towards the left field, and he gets a double. He gets himself to second, and that allows Wilson Sinham to be able to run from first to third. So now we have Sinham on third, and we have Barnes on second. Up next to bat for the Bearcats, we have Lucas Naraki, the LSU commit.
Number 61, Lucas Naraki.
Naraki pitching a great game last night, getting substituted out at the end there in the 7th inning. Up to bat, he's had some crazy home runs this season, as well as some crazy strikeouts. Blackwell taking a second, looking around, seeing that he has a Bearcat on second and a Bearcat on third. Naraki makes contact, but that's going to be a foul ball. It's going to go out of the field to play on the right side. That's going to bring us his first strike, and it's going to be an 0-1 count here. Naraki just taking a second, stepping outside the box, just recollecting himself. Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher for the Sandies, is going to give another ball to Blackwell, the pitcher. Naraki stepping back into the box, doing his little pre-bat ritual, getting ready. Blackwell, the pitch is away. That's going to be a bit high and on the inside. Naraki, he kind of had to lean back a little bit to avoid getting hit, so that's going to bring us his first ball, and it's going to bring a 1-1 count here. You can hear the Aledo fans encouraging Naraki. Pitches away from Blackwell, and again, that's going to be high and on the inside. Naraki, again, having to move back to avoid being hit. It seems like it might have hit him in the head there. Bringing us to a 2-1 count. Blackwell pitches away. Naraki making contact, and it immediately goes straight into the glove of the Sandies first baseman. And Landon Barnes was on second base, had a heavy leadoff, was trying to run back, but the Sandies first baseman threw it to second base and got Barnes out. So that is going to give Aledo their first scoreless inning here of the entire game. They're still leading 7-0. It's interesting to see Lucas Naraki. He's very good at redirecting the ball when he needs to. It was a heater, went straight towards the first baseman, and he caught it and just pulled it immediately out of the air like it was nothing. I wonder if the wind has anything to do with this. It seems like in the last hour the wind has really picked up. Just check and see what. We actually now have a bit of a chance of rain. A lot of clouds have moved into the area. Seems like it might just pass us. Let's hope that it does. Yeah, the wind is sitting at about steady 17 miles an hour right now. Gusts up to 23 miles an hour. Yeah, I can see that. Well, now we're heading into the top of the fourth. The Aledo outfield are going out. They're getting ready. They're just doing a little pregame warm-up right now. While we wait for them to come back into the game here at the top of the fourth, let's take a quick little 60-second timeout and tell you a couple of messages from the UIL. We'll be back right after this.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and
Welcome back to the NTX Varsity Sports Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball coverage here at the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table. We are at the top of the fourth where the Sandies are up to bat. Sandifer, the pitch is away to Golden Howe for the Sandies, and that is going to be straight over home plate. That's going to bring up strike number one, bringing it to an 0-1 count here for Howell. Sandifer, the pitch is away a little high and on the outside, going to bring up ball number one, bringing us to a 1-1 count. You can hear a little bit of cheering and some support from the Amarillo Sandies dugout. Sandifer, the pitch is away. It's going to be contact from Howell on that, but it's going to go outside of the field of play on the from the left foul line and go outside. That's going to bring up strike number two for him, bringing it to a 1-2 count. Howell taking some time, stepping out of the box, just recomposing himself. Stepping back in, getting ready. Sandifer pitches away. It's going to be inside pitch, a little bit low. It's going to bring up ball number two, and bring us to a 2-2 count. Sandifer getting a new ball from Whitmire. Didn't like the one that he had. Howell stepping back into the box. Sandifer winding up. Pitches away. Big swing from Howell there, and that is going to get him out, and that's going to bring the first out for the Sandies here in the top of the fourth. Up next to bat for the Sandies is number. Oh, we have a substitution here, it seems like.
Now batting for Amarillo High, number 9, Levi Barragon.
Up next, yep, there is a substitution. Now we're going to have Amarillo Sandies number 9, Levin Barragon, and he is going to step up to bat. Barragon stepping into the box. Sandifer, the pitch is away, and that is going to be high and on the inside. It's going to bring up ball number one, making it a 1-0 count here for Barragon. Sandifer winding up. The pitch is away. Connection from Barragon straight down to first base. Sandifer running to get to first base, but it falls out of his glove. Barragon is safe at first. The first baseman for Aledo. Yeah, the first baseman for Aledo, Jackson Laus, he was there. He caught the ball. Luke Sandifer tried to run to first base to get out Barragon, but he caught the ball, but he ended up dropping it right at the last second. So Barragon is now able to be safe at first. Barragon getting his courtesy runner. He's switching out with number 24, Jake Zumbrin for the Sandies. So they now have a runner at first. Sandifer, the pitch is away. Straight over the plate to Talon Jones of the Amarillo Sandies. That's going to bring up an 0-1 count for him. Sandifer readjusting a little bit. Trying to talk with Connor Whitmire behind the plate. Nodding at the call that he likes. Looking over, he sees he has Jake Zumbrin on first. Sandifer winding up, the pitches away. And that is going to be straight over the plate, and that is going to bring up strike number two, bringing it to an 0-2 count here for Talon Jones. Sandifer looking, seeing that he still has a Sandy over there on first base. Winding up, pitches away. Straight over home plate, and that is going to be his third. It's going to be the third strike for Talon Jones, and that's going to bring the Sandies to their second out here of the top of the fourth. Up next to bat for the Sandies is number 1, Dylan Grider. This is about the time last night when the roles were reversed, where Aledo, they were in the same position that Amarillo's in right now, but they switched it around here in the 4th inning, and they managed to get 3 runs. So we'll see what happens here tonight. Maybe Amarillo can pull what Aledo did last night, or maybe Aledo's on top of their game. We'll see. Sandifer's first pitch to Grider was a ball, bringing it to a 1-0 count. Second pitch, Grider made contact, but it was outside the field of play. Going to be called a foul and bring it to a 0-2 count. Apologies. Sandifer winding up. The pitch is away to Grider. It's going to go straight over home plate, and that is going to be the third strike for Dylan Grider. And that is going to send us to the bottom of the 4th. Connor Whitmire, the catcher for Aledo, he got hit by Sandifer's pitch there, his last pitch there. Chad Berry coming out to check on him. He seemed like he was in a bit of pain. He was on the floor. The umpire was trying to help him out. But he's good. He's good now. Chad Berry walking him back to the Aledo dugout. Whitmire, he's all good. So now we're in the bottom of the 4th, and it doesn't seem like Amarillo is going to follow Aledo's playbook from last night, where Aledo they got their first 3 runs of the game in that 4th inning. So now they are sitting at 4 consecutive innings with 0 runs. Now Aledo they're back up to bat again. We're kind of seeing something similar to what we did last night, where the innings are either they're sitting at about 30, 35 minutes in length, or they're sitting at about 5 to 10 minutes going over super fast. Not entirely sure, but the entirety of this game is going a lot quicker than it did last night. Again, this is a game. This is a best of 3 series. This is game 2. Aledo won last night, and depending on what happens here in the next 3.5 innings, Aledo, they might take the win here and advance to the semifinals next week, which we will take a look at and see who they might be playing. We are not entirely sure yet. There are a couple of different games going on around the area. We still got to figure out who they're playing. Later today at 4 p.m., if you're also a Aledo Lady Cats softball fan, make sure you check into the other NTX Varsity Sports broadcast of Aledo Lady Cats softball, where they will be playing against Abilene and Graham with Kevin Longquist. While we wait for Aledo to step up to bat, we're going to take a quick 30-second break and tell you a little bit more about our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Welcome back to the NTX Varsity Sports Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball coverage here at the Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth broadcast table. Thank you so much to Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth for sponsoring us, allowing us to travel with these Bearcats. Right now, the Aledo Bearcats are currently leading the Amarillo Sandies here in the bottom of the 4th, 7-0. Up next to bat for the Bearcats, is number 24, Dylan Duran. Again, that is going to be his 3rd at-bat of the night, currently sitting at a 2-1 count. Pitch from Blackwell. It's going to be a bit low and on the outside, bringing up ball number 3, bringing it to a 3-1 count. Duran getting ready. Blackwell winding up, pitches away. Connection from Duran. And it was just right on the inside of the right foul line. Right fielder, he missed to catch it just by a couple of inches. And Duran, that's going to be a double for him, putting him on second base. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is number 4, Kyle Poindexter.
Number 4, Kyle Poindexter.
It's really interesting. We've seen a couple of times today that the Bearcats, when they've been making connections, getting hits, the ball, a lot of it's been hugging either the right or the left foul line, and a lot of the times you can't really tell until the ball hits the ground if it's on the inside or the outside. But there have been a good couple times it's been on the inside, and the right or the left fielder for the Sandies, they miss it, so that allows a double. Even a couple of times today we've seen some triples off of that. Kyle Poindexter sitting at an 0-1 count. Pitches away from Blackwell. High and on the outside. That's going to bring up ball number 1 for a 1-1 count. Poindexter taking a step out of the box real quick, stepping back in, doing a little pre-bat ritual. Blackwell seeing that he has a Bearcat over there on second base. Going to be a little low and on the outside there again. It's going to bring us to a 2-1 count here for Poindexter. Yeah, Blackwell, he sees that he has Dylan Duran out there on second. Pitches away from Blackwell to Duran, and that's going to be high and on the inside. It's going to bring his third ball, and it's going to bring us to a 3-1 count. Pitches away from Blackwell, and it's going to be low and on the outside, and that is going to give Kyle Poindexter a walk to first base. So now we have Poindexter for Aledo. We have Poindexter on first, and we have Dylan Duran out on second. Up next to bat for Aledo is number 1, Will Casey, stepping into the box. Blackwell just taking a little look around him. He sees that he has first and second. Pitches away. Trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Will Casey, he made connection with the ball, but it seemed from what a lot of people are saying, you could hear it from the Aledo Bearcats fans, it seemed like the ball bounced off the ground and that it was fair and it went up, but the umpire is now meeting with the Amarillo Sandies head coach. No, and they're going to call it a strike against Will Casey, so that's going to bring us to an 0-1 count. Will Casey back in the box. Blackwell on the pitch, winding up. Big swing there from Casey, and that's going to bring his second strike, bring us to an 0-2 count. Still have Dylan Duran out there on second and Kyle Poindexter on first. Will Casey trying to get a big hit here. Blackwell readjusting a little bit. He did not, but yeah, Blackwell did not like Duran. He had a big lead off there, and it seemed like he was about to throw it back to the shortstop to try and get Duran out, but he ran back just in time. Blackwell showing Duran that he is paying attention to him. Blackwell throwing a low inside pitch to Will Casey. But Jimmy Escajeda, he throws it to third base because Dylan Duran tries to steal third base, but the Amarillo Sandies third baseman manages to get him out. So that's going to give Aledo their first out here in the bottom of the fourth, and that's going to give Will Casey a 1-2 count. Pitches away from Blackwell, and it's going to be low and on the inside, bringing us to a 2-2 count. Now Aledo only has Kyle Poindexter on first base.
Let's go, Casey, battle. Let's go, babe.
Blackwell really high and on the outside there. That's going to bring us to a 3-2 count here. Full count. Will Casey getting ready, stepping into the box, stepping up to the plate. Blackwell And contact from Casey, and it's going to go straight into the glove of the left field, to the left fielder. And that's going to give Aledo their second out here in the bottom of the fourth. But we still have a runner out there. We still have Kyle Poindexter out on first. Up next to bat for Aledo is number 2, Jackson Laus. Poindexter over there on first, taking a very heavy lead off. Laus stepping into the box, pitches away from Blackwell, and connection right out of the gate for Laus, and it goes straight into the glove of center field, giving Aledo their third out here. And that's gonna still have us. Aledo is still leading the Sandies 7-0 as we go into the top of the 5th, but the third inning and the fourth inning, neither teams have had either run. Aledo had 4 in the bottom of the first and 3 in the bottom of the second. But now we're sitting at 2 consecutive innings of no runs from either side. We'll see what happens. Maybe Aledo, they're trying to keep their defense good. They've been getting the Sandies out really early, been getting some strikeouts pretty early on from Sandifer, or they've been pretty good at getting some of the Sandies out on bases when they've had some pretty heavy leadoffs. So we'll see. Again, this game is going a lot quicker than it did last night. Last night we had a couple of 30, 35-minute innings. The innings today, they seem to be lasting about, on average, 15 to 20 minutes or so as we head into the top of the 5th. As Aledo takes the outfield and warms up a little bit for the Sandies to take up to bat, we're going to take a quick 60-second break and tell you a couple of messages from the UIL. We'll be back right after this.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Welcome back to the Highly Mazda of Fort Worth broadcast table for the NTX Varsity Sports' Aledo Baseball postseason broadcast. Here tonight we are at Abilene Christian University, where the Aledo Bearcats are facing off against the Amarillo Sandies in their Game 2 in the best-of-3 series. Again, Aledo had their first game last night against the Sandies, and they won. They won that one. I believe the final score was 8-2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll have to check that here in a sec, but we are in Game 2 now. Aledo is leading the Sandies 7-0 as we head into the top of the 5th. The Sandies are up to bat. Luke Sandifer on the pitch. To number 11 for the Sandies, Oliver Parsons. And it's going to be ball number 1, bringing it to a 1-0 count. Sandifer pitches away, big swing from Parsons, and that is going to be his first strike at bat, and that is going to be a 1-1 count. Parsons, he has 15 hits this season, 20 runs scored. He has a 7 RBI and also 7 walks, and he's pitching at about, and he's hitting, sorry, not pitching, he's hitting at about a 2.88 average. Sandifer on the pitch again, and that's going to go straight over home plate, and that is going to be Parsons' second strike, bringing it to a 1-2 count. Correction, no, it was a ball, bringing it to a 2-1 count. Sandifer pitches away. Seemed to be a little bit low and on the inside, and that is going to be the 4th ball, and that is going to let Oliver Parsons with a walk and let him go to first base.
Number 3, Jimmy Escajeda.
We are now back at the top of the lineup for the Amarillo Sandies, and we are seeing number 3, the catcher, Jimmy Escajeda, up to bat. That's going to be his third at-bat of the night. Sandifer winding up, the pitch is away. It's going to be low and on the outside for the first ball for Escajeda, and that is going to be a 1-0 count for him.
Hey, be ready now. Let's go. Be ready. Throw 'em out.
Sandifer meeting up with Whitmire to get another ball. Sandifer readjusting a little bit, looking at Whitmire, seeing his calls, nodding at one he likes. Sandifer, the pitch is away. Connection from Escajeda straight to the shortstop, and shortstop tries to throw to second base to cut off Oliver Parsons, but it just barely misses the glove of second base. So that's going to allow Oliver Parsons to go to second base and allow Jimmy Escajeda to get to first. And that is going to be an error for the Aledo Bearcats. Sandy's head coach is calling. Sandy's head coach is substituting in a player.
Hey, reset. Let's go. Get some out.
Number 8, Ian Herrick is coming in, stepping up to bat, getting substituted in for number 23, Xander Plowman. With those clouds rolling into Abilene, we are starting to see a little bit of a drizzle, so hopefully that doesn't affect our broadcast or the game. Hopefully we don't get a rain delay. Nothing too bad, but just a couple of drizzles I'm seeing here on the windows of the press box. Sandifer first pitch is away to Herrick, and that is going to be a little bit high and on the outside, and that is going to bring up ball number 1 for him. Sandifer looking back, seeing that he has Oliver Parsons on second, pitches away to Herrick, and that is again going to be high and on the outside, bringing up ball number 2, bringing it to a 2-0 count. Sandifer, he kept looking. He kept seeing that Oliver Parsons had a very heavy leadoff on second base, threw it back to second baseman, trying to get him out, letting Oliver Parsons know, I see that you're there, and I'm not going to try and let you try and steal third. Ian Herrick up to bat. Sandifer, the pitch is away. Little low and on the outside, going to bring up ball number 3, and that's going to be a 3-0 count here. Herrick, he has a 44-2 on-base percentage, 26 RBI, and 15 walks of the season, along with 24 hits. So we'll see where that gets him here right now. Sandifer still looking back at Oliver Parsons there on second base. Sandifer pitches away, straight down the middle, and that is going to be strike number 1 against Herrick, bringing it to a 3-1 count. Herrick, he has good plate discipline and on-base ability, and he's helping extend the lineup depth offensively. Sandifer pitches away. Seemed to be a little bit on the inside, but Herrick, he hits and he makes contact. It goes straight towards Sandifer. He gets it and he throws it towards first base, and he gets Herrick out, and that is going to be the first out for the Sandies here in the top of the 5th. Up next to bat for the Sandies is number 2, Austin Sluter.
Number 2, Austin Sluter.
With Ian Herrick hitting towards first base, it did, however, allow Jimmy Escajeda to advance to second and Oliver Parsons to advance to third. So now the Sandies have runners on second and third. Sandifer, the pitch is away to Sluter, and it's going to be a little low and on the outside. That's going to be ball number 1, bringing us to a 1-0 count here. Sandifer looking at Whitmire, trying to find a call that he likes. Finding one he does, nodding. Sandifer winding up, pitches away. It's straight over home plate, and that is going to be strike number 1 against Sluter, bringing it to a 1-1 count here. We're starting to see some umbrellas break out a little bit here in the bleachers, as I was saying earlier, that there does seem to be a bit of a drizzle starting. Sandifer winding up. The pitch is away. Little lone on the inside. Falls out of the glove of catcher Connor Whitmire, but he manages to get it before it rolls away and gets it back to Sandifer, cutting off Amarillo Sandies' Oliver Parsons from trying to see if maybe he could steal home plate if it would roll too far into the backstop. Going to bring us to a 2-1 count here. Sluter stepping into the box. Sandifer winding up, pitches away. It's going to be hot. It's going to be high and on the outside for an outside pitch. And that's going to bring us to give us our third ball, bring us to a 3-1 count here. Sluter taking a second, stepping outside the box, just recollecting himself. Stepping back in. Sandifer looking at Whitmire, nodding at a call that he likes. Winding up, pitches away. And again, that's going to be low and on the inside for ball number 4, and that is going to allow Austin Sluter a walk to first base. Now the Amarillo Sandies, they have bases loaded here in the top of the 5th. Up to bat for them is 26, Jaden Cadillo. And now, right now, we're going to have an infield staff meeting, it seems, with Aledo's head coach and the infield staff. I think this is the first time tonight that we've seen the Amarillo Sandies have all the bases loaded, and I think Aledo's head coach, he's trying to get out there. He's trying to talk to him like, let's cut this off. Let's not see it happen. This is the first time we're seeing this. Like Aledo, they want to keep their lead. They have a pretty good early lead right now, even though they didn't score in the last 2 innings. Scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first, scored 3 in the bottom of the second, sitting at 7-0. So he wants to make sure that it stays that way. Doesn't want to let even 1 run get in. That infield staff meeting is good. Everyone's shaking hands, fist bumping each other, smiling. Looks like they have a really good game plan. Up to bat for the Amarillo Sandies, 26, Jaden Cadillo. Luke Sandifer stepping back onto the rubber. Nodding at Connor Whitmire at a call that he likes. Winding up, pitches away. Straight over home plate with a heater at 85 miles an hour. That's going to bring strike number 1 against Cadillo, bringing it to an 0. Sandifer on the pitch. Away to Golden Howell. It's going to be a little low and on the outside, and that is going to bring up ball number 2, bringing it to a 2-1 count. Sandifer winding up on the mound. Looked like he was about to throw back to Austin Sluter, still on second base. He had a very heavy leadoff, letting him know, hey, I know I can see you. I don't like that leadoff. I am not going to let you go and steal third. Sandifer winding up. The pitch is away. Inside pitch there, and that is going to bring up ball number 3, bringing it to a 3-1 count for Golden Howell. Sandifer winding up, still looking back at second base. Howell makes contact with the ball, but it went on the outside of the right foul line. He thought it was still good, but home plate umpire appeals to first, and they both agree it was a foul. So that's going to bring his count. That's going to be Golden Howell's second strike at bat. Excuse me, bringing his count to a 3-2. Full count now. For the Amarillo Sandies, Austin Sluter at second, Golden Howell up to bat, full count with 2 outs. Sandifer on the wind, pitches away. It's going to be high and on the it's going to be a high inside pitch. It's going to be ball number 4, and that's going to allow Golden Howell to advance to first base. It's going to put two Amarillo Sandies runners out there on first and second. Seems for the Sandies we're going to have another substitution here. Yes, we're going to substitute number 20.
First base for the Sandies, number 22, Cohen Swain.
Number 22, Cohen Swain for the Amarillo Sandies. He is going to be up to bat. Aledo head coach calling a quick little infield staff meeting with his players, while the Amarillo Sandies head coach is still talking to the umpire about his quick little substitution. Luke Sandifer and Connor Whitmire are going to practice a couple of plays. Now the Aledo head coach and the Amarillo Sandies head coach are going to have a quick little coaches meeting on the side. And not entirely sure. Actually, correction. They're not substituting in Cohen Swain to bat. He's going to become courtesy runner for Golden Howell at first. So now we'll still have Austin Sluter at second base, and we'll have number 22, Cohen Swain, go to first base for the Sandies. The two head coaches are done with their meeting. Everyone's dispersing, going back to their positions. The umpire's going back. And up next to bat for the Sandies is number 24, the substitution we saw earlier in the last inning, Jake Zumbrin. Zumbrin stepping into the box. Sandifer getting ready, stepping back onto the mound. Sandifer looking at Whitmire, trying to find a call that he likes, nodding at one that he does. Pitches away. Zumbrin swings and misses. Swing and a miss. That's going to be his first strike at bat, and that's going to bring us to an 0-1 count. The substitution on first base, Cohen Swain for Golden Howell, had a pretty heavy leadoff there. First baseman didn't like it. He walked up behind him to let him know. Sandifer pitches away, and that's going to go straight over home plate, and that's going to bring strike number 2 for Jake Zumbrin, bring it to an 0-2 count. And Zumbrin just got another foul ball, went into the backstop netting. Going to keep him at an 0-2 count. Sandies, runners on first and second. Zumbrin up to bat. Sandifer winding up, pitches away. And it was going to be low, and on the outside, but Zumbrin went for it, and umpire calls it a strike, and that is going to be the third and final out for the Sandies here in the top of the 5th. but they still managed to get 2 runs, bringing the score deficit down, and is now going to be the Sandies 2 and the Bearcats still at 7 as we head into the bottom of the 5th. We've been seeing in these last 2 innings, we've been seeing a lot of substitutions, or a lot of courtesy runners on the Sandies side of things. Really interested to see what else we're going to see if they continue to do that, because what we've been seeing, though, is they've been getting the substitute runners or substitutions for a lot of their players that have been getting runs or have been getting great hits, like some doubles and some triples, especially Golden Howell or Jimmy Escajeda. We've been seeing them getting switched out a couple of times here. So we'll see what that's about, if the Sandies will continue on with that or not. Sandies will take the outfield, and they will warm up a little bit. While we wait for the Bearcats to get up to bat, and it's going to actually be towards the end of the 3rd time running through this lineup, potentially going into the 4th time that we see some of these players at bat. But while we wait for that, let's take a quick little break and tell you a little message from the UIL. Back after this.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Welcome back to the Highly Mazda Fort Worth broadcast table for the NTX Varsity Sports' Aledo postseason baseball broadcast. We are here in Abilene today at Abilene Christian University, where the Aledo Bearcats are playing the Amarillo Sandies in their Game 2 in the Game of 3 series. Aledo won their game last night, and they are currently leading today here in the bottom of the 5th. Up to bat next for Aledo is number 19, your catcher, Connor Whitmire. Blackwell pitches away to Whitmire. It's going to be a little low and on the outside. That is going to bring us to a 2-0 count. Blackwell winding up, pitches away. Whitmire makes contact, is a grounder, heads towards third base. Third baseman throws it to first base, and he manages to get it just in the nick of time before Whitmire manages to step foot, and that's going to be the first out for the Bearcats here in the bottom of the 5th. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is going to be, we are going to be restarting the lineup now, heading into the 4th time. We have Wilson Sinem is going to be his 4th at-bat of the night. Sinem stepping into the box. Blackwell winding up, pitches away. It's going to be Sinim's going to make contact. It's going to be a foul, and it's going to go behind him outside the field of play towards more on the left side. Jimmy Escajeda, the catcher for the Sandies, is going to give Blackwell a new ball. While Sinim steps back into the box. Blackwell pitches away. Going to be an inside pitch, going to bring up ball number 1, bringing it to a 1-0 count, to a 1-1 count. Blackwell winding up. The pitch is away. Connection from Sinem, but again, it just barely grazed the tip of his bat. Was a little bit behind on it. Blackwell throwing at 79 miles an hour. That goes back again to what we were saying earlier and seeing last night, that that the Sandies, they'll throw some heaters coming in 92, 95 miles an hour, and then they'll slow it down every now and again to about 75, 80 miles an hour. Blackwater was winding up. It was on the pitch and went straight over home plate, and that is going to give Sinem his 3rd strike, and that's going to give Aledo their 2nd out here in the bottom of the 5th. Up next to bat for the Bearcats, number 21, Luke Gladchuk. Blackwell on the windup. Gladchuk showed bunt at the last second, made contact, and he hit it, and it started to go down towards the 3rd base. Blackwell actually ran and got it himself, tried to throw it to first, but Gladchuck made it in time. So now Gladchuck is at first.
Number 8, Landon Barnes.
Up next to bat again is four-time at bat is number 8, Landon Barnes, the media MVP from last night. Barnes, the right-handed batter, excuse me. From Blackwell, the pitch is going to go straight over home plate. Going to be Barnes' first strike, bringing it to an 0-1 count here. Blackwell looking, sitting there as Gladchuck on first. Pitch is going to be a little low and on the outside, being the first ball, bringing it to a 1-1 count. Blackwell continuously looking back, seeing Gladchuck there, having a heavy leadoff on first. Yep, and Blackwell just threw to the first baseman, letting Gladchuck know, I see you there. I see that you're trying to have this leadoff. I'm not going to let you go and steal second. Blackwell readjusting, winding up. The pitch is away. A little low on the outside, giving it to Jimmy Escajeda, but Escajeda throws it down to first base, trying to get Luke Gladchuck out, but he is safe. That's going to bring it to a 2-1 count. Blackwell nodding at a call that he likes from Escajeda. Pitches away. Contact, and that was going to be contact from Barnes, but it's going to bounce straight up off the ground into the glove of Blackwell. Gladchuck tries to run to make it to second base. Barnes tries to make it to first, but Blackwell manages to throw it to first, getting him out, and that is going to give Aledo their third out here, and that is going to send us to the top of the 6th. That's going to be Aledo's third consecutive inning of no runs, but they're still leading the Sandies by a score of 7-2. Again, like Parker Burrows and I were saying, and during the pregame show, in case you missed it, that Aledo, they are not a team that cripples under pressure. They still manage to keep going. Right now, yes, they have 3 consecutive scoreless innings, but they're not letting that shake them. They're still going up there. They're still going up there with confidence. They're still playing very strong defensively. They're not letting the Sandies get anywhere. The Sandies, they got 2 runs at the top of the 5th inning. But Aledo, they're still playing really hard defensively. Sandifer, he'll still throw back. He'll still throw back, try and get him out when they have heavy leadoffs. He wants to let him know that he's aware of whatever is going on around him. So we'll see if they continue that on here. Aledo taking the outfield here, getting ready, just warming up a little bit while the Sandies are going to be at bat.
Leading off for the Sandies, number 7.
For the Sandies, it is going to be up to bat. It is going to be number 7, Talon Jones, is going to be his third at bat of the night. And there was a pitcher change for the Aledo Bearcats. The pitcher is now number 5, Dane Brown. Brown the pitch is away to Talon Jones. Talon Jones now sitting at an 0-2 count. Brown winding up, pitches away. Contact made from Jones. Just barely misses the glove of Brown, but it goes out to second base. Second base throws it to first and manages to get Jones out, and that is going to give the Sandies their first out here in the top of the 6th. This isn't the first time in the last couple weeks in this postseason that we've seen Dane Brown get substituted as the pitcher. We saw him last week at the Aledo home game against the Pascal Panthers, that he was substituted in that game. Just alone, he got 3 strikeouts against the first 3 batters he was up against. Dane Brown winding up, pitches away, and that's going to go straight over home plate of the Amarillo batter, number 1, Dylan Greider, who was up, bringing it Bring it to a 1-0 count. Correction, it was not a strike. It was a 1-0 count. Little low and on the inside from Brown, bringing it to a 2-0. Brown winding up, pitches away. Little low and on the outside. He's going to bring it to a 3-0 against Grider. Grider taking some time, stepping out of the box. He knows what he likes and he knows what he doesn't. Brown away. Contact from Grider on that, but is going to go out of the field of play. Going to be a foul. Going to bring it to... No, I was correct. Yeah, I was correct. It was the scoreboard here was wrong. We are at a 2-2 count now. Brown pitches away. Grider making contact, and that is going to be outside the field of play on the right side of the right foul line. Going to keep Grider at a 2-2 count. He's going to step outside the box real quick, recompose himself. Stepping back up to the plate. Brown nodding at Whitmire of what call he likes. The pitch is away. Grider makes contact. Ball, and it's a grounder. The ball rolls to second base, and second base manages to throw it to first to get Grider out, and that is going to be the Sandies' second out here in the top of the sixth. Up next to bat for them is number 11, Oliver Parsons. Parsons stepping into the box. Brown nodding at Whitmire what call he likes. Winding up, pitches away. Parsons makes contact with it, but barely on hitting the tip of his bat. It's going to be his first strike, and that is going to bring it to an 0-1 count. Brown winding up, pitches away. It's going to be low and on the inside, giving him his first ball. Is going to be a 1-1 count. Parsons stepping out of the box real quick. Stepping back in. Brown nodding at Whitmire. Pitches away. Straight over the home plate, right down the middle, and that is going to be his second strike for Parsons, bringing it to a 1-2 count. Brown pitches away. Parsons makes contact with the ball, but hits it and lands behind home plate. It's going to be another foul for him, but that's going to keep him at a 1-2 count. Brown winding up, pitches away. It's going to be high and on the outside, and that's going to bring us to a 2-2 count. Parsons stepping out, recollecting himself a little, doing a little pre-bat ritual, stepping back into the box. Brown winding up, pitches away. And big swing from Parsons. And that is going to be his third strike, and that's going to give the Amarillo Sandies their third out. And they're going to have a scoreless top of the sixth inning. Again, not surprised having Dane Brown when he gets substituted in as the pitcher. We've seen this before. He's great at getting multiple strikeouts in a row. Again, the game that they had against the Pascal Panthers last week, they had a best-of-3 series last week as well. In the first one, it was a home game at Aledo, and Dane Brown got substituted in, and his first 3 batters that he went up against, all strikeouts. So not surprised that we're seeing all these strikeouts from him again tonight. Sandy's going into the outfield. They're hoping they can maybe cut off Aledo, maybe see if they can give them a 4th consecutive inning with no runs, but we'll see. As we go into the bottom of the 6th, the current score is Aledo Bearcats 7 and Amarillo Sandies 2. We'll see what happens. Right now, we're going to give you a quick little message from our broadcast table sponsor, Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, and then a quick little message from the UIL. We'll be right back after this.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable. Peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Texas. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to the Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth broadcast table, where for the NTX Varsity Sports Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball broadcast, right now we are going into the bottom of the sixth, where the current score for the Aledo Bearcats is 7 and the Amarillo Sandies is 2. During our commercial break, the Amarillo Sandies actually substituted out their pitcher, Tate Blackwell, with now it is going to be number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, who was up until this point the catcher. Gonna have to find out who the new catcher is. Up next to bat for Aledo is number 61, the LSU commit Lucas Naraki. Naraki up to bat. Escajeda, the pitch is away, and that is going to be high and on the outside, and that is going to be ball number 1. That's going to bring us to a 1-2 count. Escajeda. Naraki making contact with the ball. It's going, and it lands straight into the glove of left field, and that's going to give Naraki an out, and the Bearcats their first out here in the bottom of the sixth. Naraki's really good at making contact with that ball. He's had multiple home runs this season, multiple home runs in the postseason. Next to bat for the Bearcats, number 24, Dylan Duran. Escajeda, the pitch is away, and it is going to be low and on the outside, and that is going to bring out ball number 1. Escajeda pitches away. Again, low and on the outside, going to be a second ball, bringing us to a 2-0 count. Duran making contact with it. Is going to be a foul, giving him his first strike. It seemed like it was going to be fair and be just right on the inside of that right foul line, like we've been seeing a lot throughout this game and last night's game. But it was it landed just on the outside of the right foul line. So it's going to give Duran a 2-1 count. Escajeda winding up, pitches away. Duran, big swing and a miss, and that's going to bring him his second strike, bringing it to a 2-2 count. Seeming to have some problems with the big scoreboard here. The umpire trying to correct it, make sure it shows the correct count. Escajeda nodding at the pitcher about what he likes. Escajeda winds up, pitches away. There's going to be an inside pitch. It's going to give Duran his third ball, and that's going to be a full count here, 3-2. Escajeda pitches away. Duran makes contact, but it's going to be a foul, and it's going to go outside the field of play. Seems like it's going to land outside in the parking lot, or maybe on top of the press box. I'm not entirely sure. With that foul ball, it's going to keep Duran at a 3-2 count. Umpire is still trying to correct the scoreboard. Escajeda winding up, pitches away, and it's going to be low and on the outside, and that is going to give Duran a walk to first base. Up next to bat for the Bearcats is number 4, Kyle Poindexter. In the last inning, at the bottom of the 5th, Poindexter he kept messing with Tate Blackwell, the previous pitcher for the Sandies. He was on second base for a long time, and he kept having some great leadoffs, kept messing with Blackwell, and Blackwell kept turning around, trying to get him out.
And at the plate, number 4, Kyle Poindexter.
Kyle Poindexter stepping into the box. Escajeda looking over, he sees that he has Duran. Duran has a pretty good lead off of first. I don't know if Escajeda was a little distracted or not. It threw pretty low and on the outside ball to the catcher, but the catcher tried to throw it to first to try and get Duran out. It's going to bring us to a 1-0 count here. Escajeda on the wind. It's going to be straight down the middle, and that's going to be Poindexter's first strike, bringing it to a 1-1 count. Poindexter winding up. And connection from Poindexter to be way up is going to land right in the glove of right fielder. And it's going to get Poindexter out. It's also going to be an out for Dylan Duran because right fielder managed to throw it to second base when Duran was trying to run to get to second base. So that is going to give Aledo their 3 outs for here in the bottom of the 6th. The score is still 7-0, but the Amarillo Sandies defensively have really been cutting off the Bearcats here after the first 2 innings. They saw that Aledo came out swinging really early, getting 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 3 runs in the bottom of the second, and they didn't like it. They want to cut it off. They don't want them to be able to get a bunch of consistent runs back-to-back like they did last night, so they've been cutting it off really good. Again, like I just said, 4 consecutive innings with no runs for the Bearcats, but they're still holding a good lead, and they're still doing really good defensively as well. They're not allowing the Sandies to get any. Out of the entire game, the Sandies, they've only gotten 2 runs, and that was in the top of the 5th, and that was because they had the bases loaded, and that was also because there was an error on part of Aledo. I remember they were trying to throw the ball to second base, and it overshot just a little bit out of his glove, so that managed for 2 Aledo Sandies to get home and get 2 runs. But other than that, the Bearcats have been going very hard defensively, knowing they've been seeing they're readjusting, knowing offensively the Sandies are trying to be really good defensively, so they're saying let's be really good defensively as well because they need to catch up offensively to get closer with this deficit here of 7-2. The Aledo Bearcats are going to take the outfield. They're going to warm up a little bit. Looks like we might have another substitution on part of Amarillo Sandies. We're going in here, the top of the 7th. Our final inning of the game, the top of the 7th inning. Up to bat for the Sandies is number 3, Jimmy Escajeda, the newly substituted pitcher. And pitching for Aledo is Dane Brown, the substitute pitcher who came in the last inning. Brown with the first pitch, it was a strike against Escajeda, and that was going to be an 0-1 count. Pitches away. It's going to be a little low and on the inside, and that's going to be a 1-1 count for Escajeda. Dane Brown winding up, pitches away. And it is going to hit the ground before it even hits the home plate. So that's going to bring it to a 2-1 count here for Escajeda. Whitmire is going to give Brown a new ball. Brown nodding at the call from Whitmire that he likes, winding up, and that's going to be high. It's going to be a high inside pitch. Escajeda actually had to duck out of the way a little bit so it didn't hit his head, and that's going to bring it to a 3-1 count. Brown winding up, pitches away. Escajeda is going to make contact, but it's going to be a foul. It's going to go outside the field of play. That's going to give him his second strike, bringing it to a full count here. Brown readjusting a little bit, looking at Whitmire, liking the call, nodding at the call he likes, winding up. The pitch is away. That's going to be straight down the middle, and that is going to be the 3rd strike for Escajeda, and that is going to give the Sandies their first out here in the top of the 7th. Up next to bat for the Sandies is number 33, Caleb Turner, who is substituting in for number 23, Xander Plowman. This is going to be his first at-bat of the game. Turner preparing himself, doing a little pre-bat ritual, stepping into the box. Brown nodding at Whitmire what he likes. Brown winding up, the pitch is away. Straight down the middle, and that's going to be the first strike for Turner, giving him an 0-1 count. Turner stepping outside the box real quick. Stepping back in. Brown winding up, pitches away. Straight down the middle again, and that is going to bring strike number 2, bringing it an 0-2 count. Brown looking at Whitmire, liking what he's saying. Is going to be straight down the middle again, and that is going to be hit, and that is going to be Turner's 3rd strike, and that is going to give the Sandies their 2nd out here in the top of the 7th. Up next to bat is the left-handed pitcher, is the left-handed batter, number 2, Austin Sluter. Right now you can hear the Aledo Bearcats fans currently clapping. They're ready for this game to be over. They're ready for the Bearcats to take a win. Brown's last windup there. It was a little low and on the outside. Whitmire, it rolled out of his glove. Whitmire giving Brown a new ball. That's going to be. Oh no! Correction. Umpire is saying. Correction. Umpire was saying that it was a strike against Austin Sluter. Sluter making contact. Sluter making contact with the ball. The ball goes out towards left field, and left fielder catches it. And that is the game. The Aledo Bearcats win Game 2 of their series against the Amarillo Sandies, 7-0. The Aledo Bearcats, they advance to the state semifinals next week. We currently are still trying to figure out who they're going to be playing against or where they're going to be playing, but the Aledo Bearcats won last night against the Sandies, and then in their Game 2 today, they won. They came out swinging in the bottom of the first, in the bottom of the second, and they just kept their momentum going after that. With a strong leadoff like that, 7-0 all the way up until the top of the 5th. They just needed to remain defensive. If they did not let the Sandies get any runs in there, that's all they had to do. And again, we've been seeing that a lot. Either Aledo, they come out of the gate swinging like they did today, or they're a late second half of the game team like we saw last night. And either way, just going back off of what we've been saying over these past couple of weeks in their postseason coverage, this is a team that does not fold under the pressure. They stay strong. Chad Berry, the head coach, he calls the team meetings in the infield when he needs to. He knows what he needs to say to them. And every single time, the infield, they always look happy. And every single time after that, we see strikeouts. We see multiple cutting off of when there's trying to be steals from whatever team it is. And Aledo now winning, again, just to recap, Aledo winning the game last night 8-2 against the Sandies. And then today winning the game 7-2. Just coming out of the gate swinging with 4 runs in the bottom of the first and 3 runs in the bottom of the second, and keeping that lead 7-0 until the bottom of the 5th, where the Sandies got 2 runs. But it doesn't matter because defensively, Aledo, they kept it the entire time today, and that hard work paid off because they are now going to go to the state semifinals next week. And as soon as we find out who they will be playing and where they will be playing, we will post on NTX Varsity Sports because we will bring you that broadcast as well. The Aledo Bearcats taking their post-game prayer, team tradition. And as soon as Dane Brown threw that last strikeout against Austin Sluter, there was immediate cheering and celebrating. The Aledo dugout just emptied out. Everyone started spraying their water bottles everywhere. All the guys, they started hugging, running around the field. fist bumping each other, just smiles all around. And then all the Aledo Bearcat families that came out today, it looks like it was pretty packed today as well, like it was last night, estimating about 200 people, 200 Aledo Bearcats, not including the Sandies families and fans that came out today. They're all starting to gather up at the net, trying to take photos because of the Aledo Bearcats. They now have their postseason banner out where they are going to mark that they beat the Amarillo Sandies and that they are now going to the state semifinals. It doesn't seem that we're going to be able to get a post-game interview. Today because everyone's just celebrating, having a good time. Again, thank you to Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth for being our broadcast table sponsor. We wouldn't be able to bring you the Aledo Bearcats postseason baseball coverage without them. And again, just a little bit of a recap. The Aledo Bearcats winning Game 2 of the series after winning Game 1 last night against the Amarillo Sandies, and they will go to the state semifinals. The reigning 5A champions from last year, they will go to the state semifinals again next week. For NTX Varsity Sports, I've been Brody Gates. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune into the broadcast later today in about 15 minutes at 4 p.m. for the Aledo Lady Cats softball broadcast, where they will be playing Abilene and Graham, and that will be hosted by Kevin Longquist. Again, this was the Aledo Bearcats baseball postseason coverage. Aledo won against the Amarillo Sandies, and they will go to the state semifinals next week, and we will post the updates of who and where they will be playing as soon as possible. For NTX Varsity Sports, I'm Brody Gates. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
They've got the diploma. Now give them something even more valuable: peace of mind. At Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth, Mazda vehicles are built with advanced safety technology to help protect your new driver with every trip. And right now, get 0% APR for 72 months on the Mazda CX-90 plug-in hybrid, a smarter, safer SUV for the road ahead. Hiley Mazda of Fort Worth. Send them safe so they can drive with confidence.